Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thoughtaholic. Today, we're going to be talking about The Queen's Gambit, a Netflix mini-series written and directed by Scott Frank, and it stars Anya Taylor-Joy as the lead role. This is based on the novel of the same name written by Walter Tevis. What a TV show! It was truly a splendor, and it was an amazing experience watching this TV show. It truly captured the drama, the mystique, and the marvel of the entire world of chess. Not just the world of chess, but also the players and the rules and the entire aura surrounding chess. And it captured it beautifully. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So without further ado, let's go to the plot. There will be some spoilers here and there, so you have been warned. The Queen's Gambit is about Beth Harmon, a girl from an orphanage who realizes that she has this talent and love for chess, and also very quickly realizes that she's pretty damn good at it, and probably the best at it. So it follows her journey from the orphanage through the trials and tribulations all the way up to the moment where she becomes the world chess champion, while it also highlights her traumatic past, her upbringing, her addiction, and her loneliness as well. Anya pretty much carries this show. She has been absolutely fantastic. She's really talented as an actress, and what's more is she's very young. She's 24-year-old, so I'm really excited to see what more comes from her in her career. I had seen her a couple of times in The Split as well as in Peaky Blinders, so she really did impress me, but this is where she really comes into her own, and she really well and truly personifies Beth Harmon. It was an amazing experience watching her act. The other supporting actors were really good as well. I was impressed by Marielle Heller, who plays the mother who adopts Beth. The chemistry within both of them was quite good and quite heartwarming to see. Thomas Brody Sangster from The Maze Runner and Game of Thrones fame was also impressive as Benny Hopkins, who beats her quite a few times in chess and who forms quite an interesting relationship with Beth. What also impressed me was the fact that we have Harry Melling, who played as Dudley in Harry Potter, and he was quite a good actor as well. Another very interesting fact is the fact that many of the cast are British, and they perfected the American accent, so it was very good to see. Moving on to the cinematography, I really loved the palette of colors. I really loved the whole look and feel to it. The 60s was captured really beautifully. The set designs, the furniture, the interiors, the way everything was decorated was really nice to see. And also I loved the music, the rock music, the 50s and the 60s. The soundtrack was just wonderful. It just reminded me so much of the nostalgia of listening to that kind of music. Jimi Hendrix, the Kinks. It was fantastic to listen to. So this is quite a deep show actually. It's not just a superficial take on the chess world and a coming of age story. There's a lot of few themes that I really want to speak about. One is the fact that chess is not just pure talent, pure raw talent and intuitive play. It takes a lot of preparation. It takes a lot of study, a lot of hard work, going through historical matches, lots and lots of trial and error, learning through the numbers, the various permutations and combinations of chess moves. And it's not just pure talent. As Beth realized early on, she was extremely talented, but she also had to work hard, and she really had to understand the nuances of chess through sheer rigor. And so that was something to talk about. The second thing is substance and abuse. Substance abuse and addiction. Beth, throughout the show, we see her getting addicted to those tranquilizers. She kept taking them in an orphanage, and she also kept taking it throughout the various points of her journey. And she was very, very much convinced that she needed these tranquilizers, not just to keep herself calm, because there was a lot of uh, built-in rage inside of her, but she needed them to play well in chess as well. So we see her hallucinating many times, or visualizing many times on the top of the ceiling with various chess moves that can happen, and she drew on that multiple times as well while playing against different opponents. And right at the end, over here, spoiler alert, right at the end when she plays against Borgov, the reigning world champion, and when she defeats him, she doesn't use those tranquilizers and she beats him without them. She visualizes all the pieces, the moves, again in the ceiling, but she did it in a sober way, and she won. She defeated him. So that's a good message to be talking about. You don't need substance abuse. And there's also another very good reference while she was speaking to Jolene about the fact that Michelangelo, a great painter, he also once talked about just emptying everything. So that was a great reference to her just starting from scratch and getting rid of the substance abuse, the alcohol abuse, the cigarette abuse. She really was down in the dumps many times in this TV show. We do show her multiple times being lonely because, you know, she's had a very traumatic upbringing. Her mom was separated from her dad. She didn't get any support, and they were living in a trailer, and her mom committed suicide by ramming her car into a truck, and luckily she survived, but her mom died, and she had to be raised in a tough environment in an orphanage. So life was quite traumatic towards her, and so you can see that she's quite lonely and she doesn't trust people. In the way she forms her relationships with her co-stars, with her colleagues, with the men in her life, you know, like Towns, or with, you know, Benny, and with Harry. So there's a lack of trust in her, and she seems very distant when she's talking to them, very cold. But one of the very touching moments which I saw was when Jolene visited her right at the end, and when she loaned her the money to go to Russia to compete with it in the world tournament. She told her straight up, we're there for each other. We're a family. We're not orphans. I'm here for you, and hopefully you're here for me as well. So that was a good character arc that we were able to see when it comes to her loneliness. My favorite supporting characters. I really loved Mr. Scheivel. He was the one who taught her everything. He was the janitor in the orphanage who introduced her to chess and who taught her all the basics, what's required. And he also gifted her a book called The Best Chess Openings or something like that. So he was amazing, and he was a great impact on her life. I also liked Towns. Earlier I think she played him in her first chess tournament, and later on he became a chess reporter for the newspapers. I really like their relationship, I like the chemistry, but I think it could have developed even more. Coming with that to that later. Moments of the show. Now, for me, one of my best moments was when the old Russian grandmaster, I think in the semi-final, when she beat him just before playing Borgov. He had that beautiful, appreciating smile about him, and he spoke so deeply to her, saying that you, my dear, you are the future. You're the best I've ever played against. That was a very nice moment for me. Another moment that I really thoroughly enjoyed was, you know, when she was traveling around Moscow with her bodyguard, who was from probably the CIA or FBI, I don't know. But he kept telling her to, you know, attend these press conferences, talk about how America is a great country and so on. She just openly rejected him, and that's the last scene, I think, of the entire miniseries. She walked out of the car, and she just walked into a random area where there are a lot of old Russian people playing chess, and they were all fans of hers because she won the chess championship in Moscow. So everyone knew who she was, and they all invited her to play, and she just was amongst them. She was speaking Russian, and she Uh, she was just down to earth, and that was a great moment to watch. And my favorite moment of the show was definitely when Scheibel passed away, and she and Jolene visited the orphanage. And I think she went down to the basement where Scheibel used to stay, and where they used to play chess together. And when she was introduced to chess, she saw that Scheibel was tracking her success through newspapers, and he was following her, and he was so proud of her, and so that moved her to tears. And that was one of the very rare moments where she kind of opened up a little bit in this show, because of course Beth is very closed, reclusive kind of character who doesn't really open up much, but this was when she really cried, and it was a great moment for me. Some slight nitpicks. It was somewhat off-putting, but she did seem a bit too detached throughout the TV show. I think they could have shown some more moments of her opening up or being more vulnerable. Even during the moments when she was with some of the men, like Towns, Benny and Harry, when she had a crush on Towns, I felt the TV show could have expanded on that a little bit more. I think they could have expanded upon her chemistry with Towns even a bit more. I love that bit in the end when all the men of her life came together. Towns, Harry, and Benny. They all came together and helped her out after the match, which was adjourned against Borgov, so that she could then beat him the next day. That was a very heartwarming moment for me. But I think it was inconsistent with the way she had treated them, in a cold, distant manner. But it's just nitpicking. I love the entire show. My final thoughts are: it's a great miniseries. It's rated 100% in Rotten Tomatoes for a reason. I loved it, and I'm gonna watch it again so that I can see some more nuances. And I do follow chess. I know the rules of chess. I'm not good at it, but I could appreciate a lot of the moves that were being played, and it was really authentic. It was really nice to see that and witness it, and I will recommend you watching it. You will enjoy it. Thank you.